Good evening, my dear friends, and a very warm welcome to you all. Tonight, I have with me a past life regression therapist, dance movement therapist, tarot card reader, angel card reader, Vastu consultant, Reiki, certified NLP practitioner, certified telepathic animal communicator. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to welcome gracious and beautiful Irmala Kane. Thank you, Irmala, for coming live on Facebook, and it's my pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you, Sushruto. Thank you so much for inviting me.
So, Irmala, I think you have a lovely day today.
Yeah, so I have it every day. Yeah.
So basically, the whole format, Irmala, is that what we are coming up with is that today's topic is art of introspection and affirmations, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we will
right.
be discussing, right? So we will be discussing about these topics in this session, and after that, we will tell our viewers that we are coming up with another topic on tarot card reading, something which is very interesting. Okay.
Oh,
So,
that's
yeah, so there are a lot of people keep on asking me about tarot card and everything, but also there are a lot of people who are not aware what introspection is and what affirmations are. All right. So, this is for viewers that those who are not aware who Irmala Kane is. I'll be reading a short bio of Irmala. So, as for Irmala, that is very difficult for me to memorize. So, I'm having my notebook along with me. So, I'm going to read a little bit about you. And so, for viewers, here it goes. Irmala Kane is a known name in the field of glamour and grooming. Trained in England with makeup as her initial forte, Irmala has more than 2 decades of experience in Tinseltown and corporate industry. Whether it be doing makeup for a host of Bollywood or silver screen biggies or grooming and image makeovers of models for the big events like Miss India, Irmala has done it all. Irmala is also into corporate grooming. Her deep sense of intuition, the purity of her soul, along with a zeal to touch lives and transform them through love, grace, and practical spirituality, has made her the force behind the concept of another you. Another you is where self and image merge, and Irmala, the image consultant, makes way for Irmala, the mentor. Another you is where she answers the calling to heal. And last but not the least, Irmala has been awarded with the WOW Award from UK for her work as a healer and therapist. Fantastic, Irmala. We are very proud of you. And it's a
thank you.
super bio, and I have to edit your bios because I cannot read so much. So, anything that you would love to say about another you, a little bit for our viewers.
Another U was formed because the name says it all. It's another you. So it's like a
Yeah.
transformation from yourself to another you and a better you. Yes. So everything, all the modalities that I do, like meditation, past life, tarot, healing, numerology, helps a person normally to, become another you in some way or the other. So I guide the person to a better you.
So that's great. Lovely. So, so Irmala, before we start on with our questions and our sessions, so apart from what I've read so far, I would love you to tell us something about your journey, how it all started.
Shushruta, I was always very religious as a child, religious. And at that time, I didn't know spirituality, anything like spirituality existed. Because we have been grown up, if we need some external force to help us, my mom used to say, you must pray to God, and for us, God was Jesus. So
Right.
mom used to go to church very regularly, and I used to follow her. I used to take the Bible, and I was as small as 7 years old. So I used to go. So that was where my religious journey started. But my spiritual journey started, I think, 6 to 7 years ago when I went through some personal turmoil in my life, and I took up meditation, angel card readings, and this actually gave me a lot of peace. And that's when my spiritual journey and all these modalities started in my life. So I think I needed that turmoil to get me here today.
So, what was your age when you started spirituality?
That's like
Yeah,
calculating my age now.
generally.
So I was, yeah, I was like in my 40s when I started. So you can calculate now.
Okay. So basically, there was some kind of a calling which came inside you, and definitely you were attracted towards spiritual and just like Reiki healing and spiritual healing.
No, no. I'll tell you what happened. Since I was very, inclined to Jesus and stuff like that as a child. I told you, I always got peace looking at his picture. But when I was disturbed, I needed I needed some silence. And then when I discovered meditation, it gave me a lot of peace. So then when meditation gave me peace, all these things started, fell uh, one after the other in its place. And I went ahead in life like that. So there was no calling at the beginning, but it was a search that I needed to give peace to myself. So that's how I
Okay.
got my peace.
Okay.
And now
Any particular reason?
it's calling,
Any,
yes. Now it's
okay.
calling. I want to help as much people as I want, as I get. I want to. I cannot heal, but I can always, uh, you know, help them heal themselves.
That I'm aware of that, and I'm aware of that. That basically you definitely do help a lot of people,
Yeah.
and just this is for my knowledge that why Jesus?
Because I'm born in a Christian family.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah.
we've born with like Jesus and the altar and going to church and stuff like that. So it was only Jesus that I knew at that time. But today I follow a lot of Shiva. I love Shiva as a god, and I find he's very handsome, and something draws me towards him. So yeah, Shiva, Kali Ma. I come to Calcutta so often, so I go to the temples there. So
Yeah.
it's not, I go to the Ramakrishna mission. So it's not only Jesus now, but yeah, when I started, I always followed Jesus. It was a religion for me. But now
That's right.
it's, yeah, it's just everything seems to be one for me.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
A lot of information that we are getting, Irmala. And that's why you were talking about Shiva. Just wanted to ask you that have you ever been to Isha Foundation?
No, I have been to Rishikesh, and that's where I fell in love with him. In Rishikesh, there's a very big statue of Shiva right at the
I've
banks
seen
of
that
Ganga.
on YouTube.
Yeah, so I love that. And I just kept looking at him, and he's like so handsome. So that's where I found that he was handsome. Prior to that,
Great,
no, I think it was 2 years ago that I fell in love with Shiva.
great, lovely, Irma, lovely. So apart from the question that I have, I'm just thinking what else can I ask you? And definitely tell us something about yourself, how you spend your day, basically, and how you manage to keep yourself so beautiful.
I think I have to ask my parents that. No,
So the whole
I'm
secret lies with you, Irmala. So you can share that with us.
no, no. There's no thing to beauty. It's just I work out a lot, yeah, and I eat the right things. I don't overeat a lot of fatty foods, but it's just natural in me. Nothing that I have to be very particular about. I start my day with some meditation and then goes on to working and counseling. Um, I have online classes going on, workshops at the moment, numerology. I do some tarot workshops, animal communication workshops. They are on all online. Earlier, I used to travel a lot. You know that. Now, because of the
Yeah.
lockdown, I have to shift from traveling to online. And God's been kind. I have a lot of work, so it keeps me busy till about 8:30 in the evening. 8:30 in the evening. I'm quite
Right.
okay, so I can space out my day.
Yeah, well, I'm aware of that because I know that whenever I keep on calling you, you're always busy with your clients, and you're absolutely very
Always,
popular in Pune
always
as
been
well.
busy.
No, on a serious note, people definitely they do trust you a lot, and definitely because of your nature and you're so calm, and definitely the remedies that you give to people and something which they are satisfied with also. So definitely because I also know you for more than 2 years, Irmala, so I can say that. Uh,
Yeah. You've been a very good friend to me.
so very true, and definitely. So the first thing what I want to ask you, Irmala, is that now, as far we will be talking about art of introspection. So can you please tell the viewers what is introspection?
Introspection is, if I just say it like a dictionary or a,
Say it in a
what
very
is
simple way. Yeah,
yeah,
say it
I
in a
will.
very simple way, simple manner.
Yeah, it is just evaluating, analyzing, and observing your state of mind, emotional and mental state of mind, or looking inward. That's all. It's observing, evaluating, and analyzing your mental and emotional state of mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically everybody can do this, right? When I'm talking about
Anybody can do
introspection.
it. Yeah, anybody can do this.
Okay. Okay. So my second question is, why do we need to introspect? What is the reason behind this introspection?
Sushruta, first thing is we need to understand that introspection shows us our capabilities, strengths, weaknesses, our negatives and positives as well. Okay.
Right.
It also gives us a better understanding on how to take a decision on a particular situation of our life, and very
Okay.
rationally we can actually in the house also, if we have some conflict, between uh, somebody in the house, maybe our spouse, maybe our partner, anybody, what happens that time is we are so angry, the only thing that we do is retaliate. But for that moment, if we just introspect, ground ourselves and understand that, is this really necessary? Is this retaliation necessary? Do we really have to be like this? Do I have to say these words just for 2 seconds, and you will see the outcome of this entire situation is very different. So introspection, according to me, each and every person, before he or she opens his or her mouth, if they think and analyze what they are saying, will help the person in that situation better.
So
So yeah.
yeah, definitely, what you are saying is absolutely correct. So what I feel is that now, say for example, if somebody is fighting, say for example we are fighting, say I'm fighting with somebody in my own house, and I'm in a very bad mood or temper, then in that particular case you are telling me that to think before I shout back at that particular person and to introspect. And that will, because what I'm trying to ask you is that, is it really easy to do that in that
That's
particular moment?
it's a
Or is,
practice that we need. It's a practice, Shushruta. We need
yes,
to practice introspection. It will not happen out of the box. Okay, like definitely we are human beings. I'm also a human. It happens to me also. Sometimes I just see and I disagreed with a situation, or with some kind of argument is happening, and I disagree with certain statements that the opposite person is making. So I also used to be like that, but today I just stop myself for 2 minutes, and then I realize that, is this what I need to do? Just calm
okay,
yourself and understand. So this is a practice. We have to be aware. Awareness is important when these kind of situations come up. As humans, we need to
great.
be aware. So in fact, in the next topic that we're going to take, affirmations, you will realize how important these two subjects are. How we have, introspection and affirmation are very important, and they go hand in hand. So in the next subject, there will be so many questions that will be answered.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to know about the next, definitely the next topic, because I'm also not aware. and at the same time I'm also listening to you and learning as much as I can, and I would try to remember what you're saying. So just tell me one thing regarding introspection. So like what you said right now, that we need to practice in order to uh, control our temper or something like that. So here meditation plays a very important role. Does meditation plays a very important role here,
I don't know. See,
or is it
for
something
me,
different?
yeah, for me, meditation is not closing my eyes and doing dhyana. You understand dhyan? They say you have to see the third eye and you have to do dhyan. For me, it is not that. For me, meditation must be like now at the lockdown, I'm doing my sweeping and swabbing. You understand? That's meditation for me. So I am within myself. I understand myself at that time. I'm just sitting in silence. That's meditation. So meditation as of meditation doesn't play an important role, but yes, it also does play an important role. What meditation for you must be, dhyana, but for me it is silence. So
Yeah,
silence meditation, as you call it, yes, it plays an important role, because if you are not, see the rishis and the maharishis, what do? They go away. They go away to mountains, and they are always in silence because they need to be aware of themselves. They need to be aware of their thoughts, their negatives, their positives.
very
So
true.
silence in everybody's life is important. I feel in a week, 1 day of silence is very necessary for everyone.
1 week of silence means you are not supposed to talk to anyone, or you're, and also at the
One
same
day,
time you're not
one
supposed
day of
to
silence in a week.
in a week.
we
That's
must, we must
very,
intro, we must
yeah, that's
intro, you know.
very difficult for me, I know, but definitely when you are saying that 1 week of silence is possible, then it's possible.
1 day of silence in a week is possible, yes. For any human being, it's possible. But now, because we are so used to speaking, and now in a lockdown, in fact, everybody's on the mobiles. This is the best time to just sit and introspect. Sit for 5 minutes every day and understand yourself. Write down, journal it. What exactly are your negative points, and be very be very don't hide from yourself. Be very write exactly what you want to say. Okay, I'm not a good person. What is the reason you feel like that about yourself? So you need to write down
Okay,
the points, and then introspect on those points and say, okay, if I am wrong here or if I'm right here, what is the reason and how can I change?
great.
That
Yeah.
needs to be.
Okay. So, is there any duration not duration? Is there any time where for introspection, or we can do it at any time?
Anytime,
Is any
any time of
particular
the day.
time that we
No, there's no particular time,
any
but
time?
but if it's for me, then I do it during the later part of the evening, or when I'm already done with my day, because then I go through all the events in my life, in my day, whatever I have gone through, and then I sit and pen it down. Okay, these are the points that I need to change in me. This is the way I should have behaved in this situation. So then that
Great.
registers. So any time of the day, but for me, if you ask, I do it during the later part of my day. That's when I'm lying in bed or when I have some time for myself. Then I sit, I switch off the phone, I switch off my net, and for 5-10 minutes, I just analyze my day. That's all.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
It
I
helps a
can
lot.
definitely. I'm getting that particular point after having a word with you. Definitely, I would try to introspect from tomorrow. I'll try
Thank
to do
you.
that. So, okay. Now, my next question to you, Irmala, is that uh, anyway, you have already answered that. How do we practice introspection, right? The practice that normally we have to take our time to introspect and
Yes.
whatever you said. Uh, one question is that what is an introspect person like? Means what I'm trying to tell you is that
I've understood your
I
question.
am
Yes.
I am like Sushruto. I haven't started introspection, and after doing introspection for a week, will I be a different and changed person? So this is what I want to know.
Now, will you be exactly? It first thing you need to understand, and a person who introspects, analyzes, evaluates, and observes his or her behavior and actions. Okay. So
Yeah.
this actually, and without being too critical or too over analytical, like too critical. No, no, I cannot be like this. Why am I like this? You understand? You don't have to be too critical about yourself or too analytical about yourself. Just observe your thoughts, observe your patterns, your negatives and positives. That's it. And you will see that you will actually change. Give yourself time, but do this consciously. And when you do it consciously, you will realize it does not happen overnight. It takes time. Everything takes time, but you will be
Correct.
a change. Do it regularly, do it consciously, and you will be a change.
Okay. There's one more question which is not exactly related with introspection, but it just came. Just wanted to ask you that, say, for example, if anybody is meditating, all right, if anybody is meditating, now the thing is that now it's very difficult for us to stop our mind. Definitely, we cannot stop our mind, right? We cannot stop eating, right? So we cannot stop our mind. So what I'm trying to ask you is that the concentration, how to concentrate, because what happens with most of the people is that, say, for example, if somebody wants to meditate, there are a lot of things going inside their head. Apart from those who are used to and they know the technique of meditation, just wanted to ask you any thing which you would love to share regarding this, that how to
Yes,
concentrate without being disturbed.
yes. These are very heavy terms for me, I mean, concentrate, learn. You all are like, how to meditate. You understand? But no, it's not true. For me, meditation is, as I said, even while
Yeah.
sweeping, swabbing, I am meditating. If I'm cleaning my utensil, I am meditating. You understand? So for
Okay.
me, meditation has never been concentrating and closing my eyes and, oh my God, you cannot stop your mind. Let the thoughts pass. There will be a
Yeah.
time when the thoughts will subside. They will go down. But just be regular at what you're doing. So for me, meditation is something else. And maybe for some other person, there must be another form of meditation, but I don't follow these kind of forms or norms. I do what I feel is right. For me, I can meditate even now. Looking at I have a small cat at home. So looking at my cat,
Yeah.
I can meditate. Just looking at the way he is running around the house, that's meditation for me. So just
Okay.
by sitting quiet or sitting in silence, you don't need to actually stop your thoughts. It will come slowly. It's easy.
Great. So, great, Imrala. And I just want to tell you something that I've been seeing that a lot of messages here and of our friends
Really?
and families, and they are very interested and they're liking the session a lot. And right now, as for I'm having a conversation with you, so what we can do is that after the session is over, once you go to the chat box and you can answer those queries back to them.
I do.
All right.
Because I can't
Because
see the chat. I can't see people online. I can't see anything
yeah.
except you. Yeah. So I will.
So there
Yes.
are also definitely a lot of people from not only from Calcutta, maybe from Pune and from other parts of the world. They're watching this interview right now. So just
All
for your
my
info,
friends must be
yeah,
there. And hi to everyone.
yeah, just for your information, there are now I think there are 29 people watching live here, and
Really.
also yeah, because of the difference in time zone, maybe a lot of people will be watching it later according to the time zone. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can read the comments out here. Anyways, coming back to our session, now we will be talking about affirmation. This is also very close to my heart. Even yeah, I I used to study a lot of affirmations on Google, but I never knew the meaning of affirmations and why people do affirmations. So, first thing I want to ask you is that what are affirmations? How do you define affirmations?
Simple. Positive statements or phrases. Okay. That help us overcome our negative thoughts. Right?
Okay.
Huh. But to do, I want to add one more thing. Okay?
Yeah.
Positive statements or phrases that help us overcome our negative thoughts by making us realize our power of choice. Now, by making us realize our power of choice, I've added this, is because what is the reason you say an affirmation? You say an affirmation? You just said you say affirmations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the reason you say an affirmation? You say an
To
affirmation because
for me, the reason is very simple. Like if I'm saying something positive, I feel positive from inside because I am a very optimistic kind of a person. So I usually don't like negativity. Neither I keep on saying positive things to myself. So this is the
right.
way I am. So
Yes, but
yeah,
that positive thing that you feel that you are very optimistic, right? So you need to that you have made a choice to change something in you,
yeah,
right? So it makes us
right.
affirmations makes us realize that we have the power of choice,
Okay,
right? We have that power. We have a power to make our own choices. So that is affirmation for me. The power of choosing what I want to change in me, my behavior, is an affirmation. So
okay,
if I have
great.
to change anything negative in me or anything that is not right, I feel is not right in me, I will always, uh, change it with a positive statement, right?
Okay.
So that's
So
affirmation.
okay. So tell me something that, say, for example, a person who is whose willpower is not so great.
Strong.
Okay. Yeah, strong. So for example, like for the person now, if he or she does affirmation, so definitely it will enhance their willpower as well. So what I'm
I
trying to ask you is that are both
huh.
these things are interconnected?
I
Say
didn't
for
get your
example, if
question. I didn't get your question. You're going offline.
okay, so my question is that, say for example, a person whose willpower is not so strong. So
Okay.
now, for example, now he or she they started doing affirmations. So definitely after doing affirmations seriously, so will they see a change in their willpower? So are these two things
You mean to
connected
say
to each
do
other?
affirmations work? Is that what you want to say?
Yes.
Okay. Now, affirmations for me work. Okay. But you need to understand, I'll give you a small example, very small example, okay, of mine. In this period of lockdown, I like all my
Yeah.
friends who are watching, and in my first circle, my first family circle, or my first circle of friends will know that I used to have a very I used to have an OCD of cleanliness. Even my a pillow, if it used to shift 1 inch, I have a big seating in my drawing room, and if it shifted, it used to stress me out. Till the person didn't go out of my house, I kept looking at that pillow. When would I put it back? When would I put it back?
Yeah.
Because it just stressed me out, and that was not a good OCD for me. It's not the right thing to do because it's stressing me out completely. So I made an affirmation during this lockdown period that I am happy, I'm at ease, I am without stress, and I'm at ease with myself. Every time I looked at that pillow, I always said that. And for days I didn't go and change it. I left it like that. But
Okay.
this is what I want to say. You need affirmations work when you make conscious efforts. Like it's like I choose to become thin. Okay, there are people who come to me and they say, ma'am, I've been doing this for 21 days and it hasn't helped. I said, yes,
Hmm.
okay, but what did you do? They said, I go and I say, I choose to become thin, and then nothing. The whole day they're doing nothing, sitting on the couch and eating. Affirmations work, but you need to work with the affirmations for it to work. You realize
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If you're going to say, I am doing an affirmation, I'm working on, I want to become rich. I want to have 30,000 a month, and then you're sitting at home and doing nothing, watching TV, then nothing's going to happen. So affirmations work with people who actually analyze what they want in life. They choose
Yeah.
to make the right move in their life. And then affirmation is the last thing that triggers it off. So affirmations work with people who actually help themselves.
So
So
with the help of affirmations, one can change their life, right, Irmala? With the help
yes,
of
but
affirmations, one can change their life.
yeah, but that's what I said. With affirmation comes a lot of other things also, Sushruta. It does not only have affirmations. Affirmations
Yeah,
is just a statement. You can't just go say a statement 3 times a day and expect your life to change. So you need to work for that. Becoming thin, you need to work out. If you want to earn money, you want to earn that 30,000, you need to go out of the house and earn that 30,000. You have to make
absolutely.
effort.
So absolutely, it's not going to work, right? Like me writing on a piece of paper, and then sitting back at
Exactly.
home and not doing anything. So it's not going to work in that in that
Affirmation
particular.
work for people who work for them, who work for themselves, who are positive, who think positive about the things, who actually want to make a change in their lives.
Very well said, and yeah, I agree with you. So, so I just want to ask you that. So these are the questions that I've written down for you. And how does one write an effective daily affirmation? And if you can give an example, like give an example, how does one write a daily affirmation? And also one more thing, say for example, if you are writing an affirmation, how long should I read that? Or say for example, I'm writing an affirmation. How long should I keep on reading that affirmation? What is the duration of that particular affirmation?
Right. How does now we take the first part? How does one write an
Write an
affirmation?
effective
Right.
affirmation, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
First things first. We need to understand what is that one thing that is triggering us and which we want to make a change in ourselves. Okay, like I said, you have started you used to write affirmations, right? And then you
yeah,
wanted to think positive, so that's the change you want to make, right? So then you
absolutely
need to
right.
write an affirmation saying, I choose to think positive, because that's your choice, right?
Yeah,
So if someone wants to become thin, they need to write or say to themselves, I choose to become thin.
right.
Okay, so that makes the difference. So that's how you write an affirmation with whatever change you want to make in your behavior. That's the writing
Okay,
part. Okay.
right.
What was the next question? It
Next
was
question is that the duration, say for example, I've written an affirmation, and how long should I keep on reading that affirmation? Is there any particular duration or something like that?
no, there's no particular duration, but understand this again. When you write something, okay, when you're writing something, you need to put your energies and write it. You understand? You need to put your
Okay.
energy into it and write, not just
Yeah.
scribble. Okay, I'm writing it and I'm done. We hear, there are houses where we hear the Gayatri mantra every day. Okay, there are people who chant it every day, but are they aware of what they are saying? You need to be aware of what you're writing, what you're saying, and what you are listening. Then only these affirmations will make any difference in your life. If you're just going to sit and write without
Yeah.
understanding, without being aware of what you're writing, then you are never
Then
going to get there.
it's meaningless, right? It's
Yeah,
meaningless. It doesn't work
yeah.
like that.
So people listen to a lot of Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha, but Swaha. But what is the outcome? Some people are still so nasty after listening to so much of
Hmm.
things, so many mantras, so many prayers. So they go to so many places, worship places, but there's so much of negativity. You need to absorb, understand what you are doing, and then the affirmations work for you. So I
Okay.
prefer writing or saying it aloud instead of listening, because that gives me the energy to put in my affirmations. Yes.
Okay. So now, what is the best time to listen to affirmations during day or night before sleep?
No,
Anytime.
anytime is the best time. Anytime, as long as you are aware of what you are listening and what you are saying
Okay.
or what you are writing. Yeah, be aware. That's it. Be in the presence. Don't I've seen people. They take that 108. That mala, and they are doing this and they're looking all over. They don't even realize what they're saying. You know. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
need
yeah.
to concentrate on what you are saying. it all has a mantra, it all has something, some prayer, which is going to help you. So that's all. Any time of the day, morning, evening, afternoon, any time, but just be aware and say it with a lot of faith that yes, it's going to help you and be in the here and the now. That's all.
Okay. So I'm not aware of this, so I'm asking you this question that when I'm writing an affirmation, when I'm writing an
Yeah.
affirmation and when I'm reading it out, so anything like our affirmations are connected with our chakras in any way or the other, and
No, affirmations, according to me, are not connected with any chakras. They are just, I say it and I believe it that it will happen, and I make an conscious effort to make the affirmation happen for me. So I think that is okay. I mean, that helps me. I don't know the scientific thing of affirmations being connected with the chakras. According to me, I don't feel like that. I don't know. Others might think otherwise, but according to me, no.
okay. So we are learning a lot of new things, Irmala, and it's really an interesting session that I'm doing with you right now because at the same time I'm also learning a lot. Uh, so, what are some of the best daily affirmations you have ever found?
I make my affirmations, as I said, on my own daily basis. So there is nothing as the best affirmation. Whatever you feel right for yourself at that moment. Maybe I am happy today. I choose to be happy today. I choose to have abundance in my life today. Anything like that can just be an affirmation for you. So it's
Okay.
not about it's not about something in particular, but anything that you choose to change in your life or behavior can be an affirmation for you.
Yeah, I think that being positive is something which is very important in life, uh, under whichever situation that one face. But it's very important to be positive. But also at the same time, like going back to introspection, which we have discussed, uh, that you have to say, for example, in a week, maybe for 1 day or 2 days, you need to take out time for yourself and try to spend some
That
time
is
alone.
that is the
That's important.
entire day in silence, but every day we need to sit in silence at least for 5 to 10 minutes. Make it a habit, and you will see how things change in your life.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure that's going to change, and I haven't practiced it before, but I have to do it. I have
You
to do
must.
it, and definitely, if I face any problem, definitely I'm going to ring you up also. Okay. So yeah. So these are the few questions that I had with respect to introspection and affirmations. I don't know. I know that today's topic is something different, but little bit I want you to tell something about. I'm going out of track a little bit. Something about because I have read in your profile about uh, animal communications. Little bit about animal communications that is very interesting for me because see what happened is that in this era, a lot of people they do not believe in all these things. There are a lot of people who believe in all these things. So they people have different choices, right? We cannot force them to believe everything. Okay, but as
True.
for when I
Look,
heard the term yeah, animals, so
you
they're there.
are catching
Your
here, see?
is there. So what's her name?
What's his
What's
name?
her
His
name?
name is Jerry. He heard us speaking about animal communication.
And there he is there.
He's
So just a
here.
little bit about because when I was going through a profile, I was little bit. I was also very surprised and I really wanted to know a little bit about this kind of a therapy of animal communication. Normally, it's how it came into
It,
your mind or yeah.
I love animals. I'm a big fan of all animals. My favorite animal is the lion, horse, dog. So animals.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a dog. I had a dog called Lester, and he just went out of our house one day for some reason. And since I was so attached to him, and my family members were so attached to him, when I heard that there was this kind of communication that I could do with my animal, that's the first thing I did. I took up that course and I learned telepathic animal communication. And then I could actually tap into my dog and understand what exactly was his issue. I'm at peace now. So, animal being, the love for animals actually made me do all this.
Yeah, this is something which is very important. That you need to
Yes.
love animals also. Very
Yes.
important. So that is what I was wondering, that how all of a sudden it came and you came to know that you can communicate with animals uh, in a very
No, we
different way,
all
different method.
can. We all can. It's just tapping into our intuitions. It is not that I can do it and you can't do it. Everybody can. Everybody can tap into animals. You just have to be very intuitive and tap into our intuitions. We all are very intuitive, in fact.
Okay. Yeah, definitely there has to be a method of doing this kind of communication. So why don't you please why don't you take him along with you, Irmala? Our viewers will
he,
love to see.
he's jumping all over because and now is his time to play. So he is jumping all over. He needs to play with me.
Yeah, and see, and you are busy with me here. You cannot
Bonding,
give him a time.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why he's getting restless.
That's
But this is
okay.
something,
He's okay.
yeah.
He's sitting
So
there.
okay, so but this is something which is very interesting, very different. And so with so basically when we're talking about animals, okay, we're talking about animals. But say for example, there are a lot of people I've seen that they're keeping a parrot in their house, and I'm talking about birds. Okay, so you can communicate with them as well as easily
Yes,
as the way you communicate with
yes.
animals.
Actually, we can communicate. There have been people who have in our group. We have an animal communication group. They have communicated with coronavirus also. So yeah, there are yeah. We can communicate with birds. I communicate with nature as well. Like I can hugging a tree. I understand a lot of things. So it's just being intuitive, Shushruta. There's just tapping into your intuitions. That's all.
But at the same time, I do believe that, say for example, like when you're hugging a tree and you can feel something. But I think sensitivity is something which is also very important. One should have. If you're not sensitive, then I don't think it's possible to analyze this
But
kind of thing.
I mean, every one of us have senses, right? We all operate from these five senses that we have,
Right.
right? The main three senses are auditory, kinesthetic, and visual, right? So we all have
Right.
senses. The only thing is, we are in our everyday life, we are so busy in making money or doing work. We are not even interested. That's why I said introspection is important. If we introspect,
Introspection is
if
important.
we if we tap into our energies, we'll know that we actually have a lot of potential, which we don't even use in everyday life. So intuition is one thing that is natural in every person. Every person. You don't have to go for a workshop to be intuitive.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely you're right, because nowadays there's a lot of stress and tensions, and it's with everybody. So
There's a lot
so
of
we need
time.
to know how to
Five
deal with
minutes
those.
we can give ourselves every day. There's a lot of time we have today.
No, definitely. Animal communication is something which we came to know about. We came to know about introspection, and why do we introspect, and how an introspect person is different from others, and also what different kinds of affirmations that we have learned today. We came to know about a lot of affirmations and how it has uh, us day to day in our day to day life, and everything to do with positivity. And if you want to go out somewhere, if you want to do something, certain things, you write down and you do your affirmations. But at the same time, you have to have some action, because if you don't have action, then everything
The
fails.
affirmation
Right?
work, yes.
It doesn't work like that. I can imagine. So, Irmala, so before we part ways, and before we again come back for our next session, I want to inform my viewers that next session will be also very interesting. We will be talking about tarot cards. So definitely everything based on tarot card and the origin of tarot card and why tarot card is important and how it works. So we will be coming out with this session on tarot card reading, and definitely it will be a general talk show, and I'm sure that's going to be very interesting. But before we leave, Irmala, anything which you want to share with your viewers right now?
Yeah, I've got a
Thank
very
you so much, sir.
nice saying, from a very nice book today. I was just going through, I have this habit of going through books. So I had underlined this, and I want to say this to everyone here today. I'll read it out. Do not do what you want, so that you may do what you like. This is from a book called The Autobiography of a Yogi. Most of us must have
Can,
read it,
can you show
and
it?
it's a very, yeah, very beautiful book. But this saying is so beautiful. Do not do what you want, so that you may do what you like. When we like something, we will do it with a lot of love. So always do what we like, you know. You don't have to
Yeah.
do what we want. We should do what we like. And it made a lot of sense to me. And
Great.
I wrote it down today. And that's how I wanted to share this with all of you.
Lovely, Irmala, lovely. So thank you so much, Irmala, for coming live here on Facebook, and I'm
Thank
really honored
you.
to have you with me.
It was
And
very lovely
and
speaking to you. You're a very warm human being. Thank you so much
and that's the
for
reason why we
inviting
can
me.
connect together very well. And
Yes,
that's the
maybe.
reason
Thank
why we
you.
can connect together very well. So because we both are warm person, that's why. So I'm looking
Thank
forward
you.
for yeah. So I'm looking forward for our next session, Irmala. So you take care, and I'm very happy with the response as here. So definitely, like a lot of people are they love the program, and
Thank you
hopefully in
so
future
much.
definitely we'll
Thank you
come up with something
everyone for
new.
listening. I cannot see people. I cannot see their comments, but thank you, all of you. Love you all. Mwah. Thank you.
Take care, Irmala. Take care, and bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.